All right, thank you guys. Welcome to our MLB video here today for Thursday, May 6th. My name is Brock Page and I do Sports Fix for free right here on YouTube. With that, I just want to take this time to let you know that we are 4-1 in our last 5 NBA tier package picks on my Patreon website. We're also hitting at 65% in our last 17 NBA tier package picks in that very same category. And the good news is this: we have another premium NBA tier package pick going off today on that Patreon page. We currently have over 1,105 members who are signed up and active on that site. And if you want to see which one of these YouTube picks I'm actually betting on personally, link for that page is in the description section below. Once again, that's patreon.com/BrockPage. And with that, we're going to go ahead and start with our first game here. We're going to cover the later games, only a handful of those, a lot of early games today. But we're going to start with the Royals taking on the Indians, 2:10 p.m. Eastern first pitch. The Kansas City Royals are minus 135, totals 8, juice to the under. The Cleveland Indians are plus $1.15 on the money line. And if you like them on the run line, they're minus 170, catching the 1.5. Tristan McKenzie's the projected starter on the mound here today for Cleveland. Danny Duffy for Kansas City. Now, I'll tell you what, Duffy's been real good this season. 4-1 record with a .60 ERA and a .97 whip. The lefties also struck out 34 batters in just 30 innings of work. The Royals have also been pounding the baseball at Kauffman Stadium this year. They're in the top 10 in scoring, top 5 in hits. Salvi Perez, he's hit 7 home runs and knocked in 18. Meanwhile, Carlos Santana's hit 6 bombs and knocked in 21. Santana's also been walked 18 times already. Now they're taking on a Cleveland team who struggles to hit despite their recent success. The Indians actually rank in the bottom 3 in the entire major leagues in hits on average per contest. They also have Tristan McKenzie on the bump here today. He's 0-1 with a .627 ERA and a 1.71 whip. And really, you can just attribute that to his absurd control issues. McKenzie's walked 18 batters in just over 18 innings of work. Total-wise, Cleveland's 9-7 to the over on the road. Kansas City's 63% to the over at Kauffman Stadium. I'm going to lean toward the Kansas City Royals minus 135 in the over 8 runs. Next matchup, Blue Jays versus the Athletics, 3:37 Eastern start time. The Toronto Blue Jays are minus $1.30, numbers 8.5. Hyun-Jin Ryu for the Blue Jays, Ryu. Hyun-Jin Ryu for the Blue Jays, Mike Fiers for the Athletics. Now the A's are 3-1 straight up in their last 4 ball games, 6 games above 500 overall for the season. The A's are currently in first place in the AL West. They're led by Matt Olson, who's batting .281 with 7 homers and 19 RBI. They're taking on a Toronto team who lost 2 out of their last 3. They currently have a losing record on the road. Now, out of Toronto's 18 road games, they've gotten the W just 8 times. They're currently in the bottom 10 in road hits, and they're averaging just 3.5 runs per contest when they bat first. Now, total-wise, the Blue Jays are 13-5 to the under as the official road team. Meanwhile, 6 out of Oakland's last 10 ball games stayed under the total of 8.5 runs themselves. I'm going to lean toward the Oakland A's plus $1.10 and the under 8.5. Next contest, Braves versus the Nationals. A little NL Beast action. More like the NL East. This division's terrible, but that's going to be a 4:05 Eastern Standard Time. Braves are minus 115, totals 9. Smiley for Atlanta, Lester for Washington. Now, Lester makes his second start of the season after throwing 5 scoreless innings against Miami in his season debut. Big John Lester's also got a career .230 ERA against Atlanta with a 7-2 record. Despite a little bit of a skid here over the past few games, the Nats have still won 4 out of their last 6. They currently have a winning record at Nationals Park. This Washington pitching staff is in the top 10 in the entire majors in hits allowed per contest. They're taking on an Atlanta club who's apparently going to work today without Freddie Freeman. Looks like he's going to get a day off against the lefty John Lester. And speaking of pitchers, Drew Smyly takes the bump for the Braves here today. He's 0-2 with an 8.05 ERA and a 1.53 whip. Now the Braves pitching staff is in the bottom 10 in runs allowed, bottom 10 in hits allowed on the road. Now total-wise, 10 out of Atlanta's 16 road games did stay under the number. Meanwhile, the Nationals are 10-5 to the under at Nationals Park, 17-9 to the under for the entire season. I'm going to lean toward the Washington Nationals plus $1 and the under 9 runs. Next ball game, Diamondbacks, Marlins, 6:40 Eastern first pitch. The Miami Marlins are minus $1.30, total 7.5. Pablo Lopez for the Fish, Madison Bumgarner for Arizona. The Mad Bum comes into today's contest with double-digit walks and a 5.58 ERA. Arizona also lost 3 out of their last, 5 ball games, with 2 of those losses coming against Miami. Now, this D-back pitching staff is dead last in the majors in hits allowed per contest. They're also in the bottom 3 in runs allowed. They're taking on a Marlins club who allows just 3.6 runs per contest at Lone Depot Park. And, of course, the righty Pablo Lopez, he comes into today's start with a solid 2.34 ERA, as well as a 1.10 whip. Lopez has also struck out 34 in just over 34 innings of work. When it comes to the total in this one, 3 out of Miami's last 4 ball games got over the total of 7.5 runs. 6 out of their last 8 also got over that number. Meanwhile, the Diamondbacks are 18-12 to the over for the entire year themselves. I'm going to lean toward the Miami Marlins minus 130 and the over 7.5. With that, guys, we're going to jump into our next and final matchup for the show. It is going to be Rays versus the Angels, 9:38 Eastern start time. The LA Angels are minus 135, numbers 8 flat. Andrew Heaney for the Angels, Colin McHugh for Tampa. Now the Rays, they have the second most road wins in the entire major leagues. They're currently 10-5 straight up when they bat first. They're only behind Baltimore in that category. And they've also cashed in on the run line in nearly 70% of their road games as well. Now, the Rays are leading the majors in road scoring and offensive walks at the plate. Yandy Diaz has walked 22 times already and has a .408 on-base percentage. Meanwhile, Austin Meadows is currently leading the club in homers with 7 of them. Meadows has also walked 16 times himself, and he has 17 RBI. Now, the Rays are currently on a 4-game winning streak. They're taking on an Angels club who lost 6 out of their last 8 themselves. And they rank dead last in the majors in runs allowed per game. Andrew Heaney comes into today's start with a 1-2 record and a 5.25 ERA. This Angels pitching staff also walks 5 batters a game at home, which is dead last in the league in that category. Now, total-wise, the Angels are 8-5 to the over at home, 17-12 to the over for the entire season. Meanwhile, the Rays saw 11 out of their last 15 road games get over the line themselves, good for over 73% in that category. I'm going to lean toward the Tampa Bay Rays plus $1.20 and the over 8 runs. With that, guys, now it's time for our quick pick recap, powered to you by my Patreon website. I like Kansas City minus 135, over 8 runs. Oakland plus $1.10, under 8.5. Washington Nationals plus $1, under 9 runs. Miami Marlins minus 130, over 7.5. Before I give you my next and final free pick for the video, one final reminder that we are 4-1 in our last 5 NBA tier package picks on my Patreon website. We're also hitting at 65% in our last 17 NBA tier package picks in that very same category. And as always, if you want to see which one of these YouTube picks I'm actually betting on personally, check me out at patreon.com/BrockPage. And with that, my last free pick for this video is the Tampa Bay Rays plus $1.20 in the over 8 runs. With that, guys, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on Patreon. If you guys decide to get a package here today, just keep in mind, Patreon's going to bill you the day you sign up and then the first of every month following that. But most importantly, guys, got to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. Really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. And with that, guys, happy Thursday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage.